Donald Trump isn't sorry about anything, but he ought to be, because the word is out that he can say, I'm rich and I don't need the money all you want. But he's a spoiler. And before we go to the phones, that's what I heard, that a candidate is going to emerge, and it may not be the Bushes, because the party is internally in a flux.
Let's try this, girlfriend. It probably won't even be an election, okay? Okay? Did you hear me?
And I don't want you to just leave me hanging. You know you didn't finish that sentence.
Well, when you take the next break, have my man punch up executive order signed by Obama 2 years ago, executive order 13603. Okay? And then you see what I was talking about. That's law. That don't gonna be law. That is law. Okay?
Are you telling me that there is a law that there will be?
No. I just told you to pull it up.
I know. But
executive order 13603. And then
I
you
got
see.
it. What's the year it came out? 2000 and...
He signed it 2012, and then another part was added to it. And that executive order wiped out FEMA, okay? There's no more FEMA. They don't exist. Homeland Security. And tonight, while we're talking, you can find the piece of paper. It's already law that he becomes president for life. Now, you pull it up, and that's what all this crap is about, okay?
I want to make an announcement, and while we're looking for that, did you get that number, bro? Executive Order 1603.
603.
13603.
Yeah.
Executive Order.
603.
13603. Executive Order. Okay. So let's take a call.
Now, the Rockefeller family is one of the richest families in the world. You ain't never heard them talk about how much money they got. So Trump needs to listen to the first thing I do is give him a drug test. Did I say that? Yes,
you did. Yes, you did. Executive Order 13603. 13603. President Obama authorizes slave labor.
No, keep on.
Wait a minute. Give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
My eyes deceiving me. Executive Order 13603. Obama authorizes slave labor on a large scale on American soil. Say what? President Obama signed his own executive order, which allowed for the president to enact slave labor on a large scale on American soil. For the Americans who have been targeted for FEMA camp detention. FEMA camp detention? So now we have the people who are going to clean the roads. Is this modern day CC camps? Forced labor?
Keep on, because that's just the first part. So wait till you get to see where he can take your water, check your water down.
Okay, let's go to it. Let's go to it. Most will voluntarily self-incarcerate in order to avoid starvation for both them and their families. The following excerpts from Executive Order 13603 will be enacted. Third World Population Control. Using food as one of the primary weapons. I keep telling people, Mr. Louis Farrakhan has been talking about growing our own food, hooking up with the black farmers. Let me continue. Lawrence Lucas has been talking about it. Let's move on, Beverly.
Baby, you can put your whole farm thing, they come over with one drone and spray it, and everything you eat out it will be poison, okay?
So it's on. It's on. It's on. It's on for us. Listen to this, folks. Third World Population Control, using food as one of the primary weapons, has long been a matter of official covert U.S. national policy and a portion of President Obama's Executive Order EO 13603. Did you hear me, folks? Now, this is really interesting to me because You remember, was it a couple of weeks that Bill Gates and Melinda Gates went to the White House?
Yeah.
Now, was it a couple of months ago that a report that came out and disappeared about Bill Gates being involved in population control campaigns in Africa, on the continent of Africa?
Yeah, he ain't gave a nickel to poor white children in America in his life.
But wait a minute. He's over there, and it's about population control. They are paying people like China did not to have children. They're over there testing on them.
The code word is useless either. So when you hear that, you don't think they're talking about professors, college presidents, police chiefs, the military. That gives you a think that you're talking about poor. It's useless either. And Henry Kissinger wrote up the whole document, and a federal judge sealed it, and we went into court with a group and got it unsealed, okay? And it tells you about them, Bill Gates, Ted Turner, all them thugs is listed, and they don't know they ain't going nowhere. They're going to get them too. That's a game they play.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, more on Executive Order 13603 and what it says you can and cannot do. What you need to hear about this, though, it's a fait accompli. It's already the law.
Already the law.
And I bet you didn't know a thing. No, a thing, T-H-A-N-G, about it. And what have we learned so far? Well, I told you that Governor Jerry Brown mandated a mass medical vaccine experiment on blacks on June 30th. Last month, he signed S. Bill 277 into law. And what that law does, making him the first person to do this, is to legalize a statewide medical vaccine experiment on blacks. He reawakened the area of Tuskegee experiments against blacks while invoking the same twisted justification as Tuskegee did. It's for public health. So he's done that. So it's a law. And then Dick sprung this on us. Executive Order 13603, National Defense Resources Preparedness. Obama plans to seize control of our economy and our lives, says this newspaper. He has made it clear that he's determined to continue pushing his progressive agenda, regardless of constitutional limitations on his power. The first sign of possible things to come happened on March the 16th, 2012, when the president signed Executive Order 13603 about National Defense Resources Preparedness. The 10-page document is a blueprint for federal takeover of the economy that would dwarf the looming Obamacare takeover of the health care or more. This is this article that appeared in 2012 that you probably never heard of. All commodities, listen to this, all commodities and products that are capable of being ingested, food, water, by either human beings or animals, medicine. They got you coming, they got you going. All forms of energy will freeze you out, will heat you to death. All forms of civil transportation, you can't go anywhere. If you have a car, it doesn't matter. We control the roads, the highways, the bridges. All usable water forms, sources. It's happening right now. There is a move right now on Capitol Hill that to have a complete government takeover, even more than there is now, of all water on the face of the planet. Not just here in the United States.
All over.
But the U.S. is trying to get that all over. This kind of bill that Dick just told us about opens that up for discussion, and you're not hearing about that either. Forced labor. But before to get to that, all usable water, I want you to hear this, from all sources. That even means well, if you have a well on your property,
Everything.
everything, control. Health resources. The government would now own all drugs, all biological products, all medical devices. That is even down to the thing you use to help you walk, your crutches. They can say who gets them and who doesn't. All health facilities, all health supplies, services, and equipment. The government would take over immediately. You all need to go back and read the Left Behind series and tell me what you think. Forced labor. This is what you were talking about. Slavery is the executive order delicately refers to military conscription. All that is fancy words for a militarized country. And that is what a Republican president, Dwight Eisenhower, warned about. The military complex buildup. He warned not to let the military take over. The president, in signing this executive order, gave way for that to occur. It's already occurring. Tomorrow in South Carolina, there's going to be a demonstration. And well, it wasn't a plan to be a demonstration, but people, because of what happened in South Carolina, wanted to go back to the Capitol, to where they have the African American South Carolina monument, and do a memorial service. The Klan found out, applied for a marching permit, and they are going to march past those who are gathered. They've been throwing out leaflets and everything. The government already has their plan together. They already have the military. They're going to up the National Guard, and they're going to use the military. It's already planned. They've called in special forces, FBI, and the like. It's already planned.
Already.
Already planned.
Now, see, once you sign an